Hello there. This video discussion is about the biodiversity and healthy society. So here are the important topics that we need to talk about in this video. Number one, or first is understanding biodiversity and its role in ecosystems. Two, the impact of industrialization on wildlife in ecosystems. Three, the impact of changes in biodiversity on ecosystem. 4. Threats to biodiversity. And 5. Consequences of biodiversity. And another one, nutritional impact of biodiversity. And the last one, the connection between health, biology, and biodiversity. Okay? There you go. So understanding biodiversity and its role in ecosystem. So let's define what is biodiversity. Biodiversity encompasses the vast variety of life forms on Earth. That is because it includes all the types of organisms from single-celled to complex multi-celled life forms, and defined from both structural and functional perspectives. When we say structural perspective, you need to have the idea of the genetic diversity, the variability in genes within the species, the genetic variation in plant populations, and etc. And functional perspective is about your idea about the ecosystem processes such as the nutrient cycling, primary production, decomposition, pollinations, and etc. All right, so let's have the expanded definition of biodiversity. So it describes as the variability among living organisms from the various sources. So it also explains this idea because it includes terrestrial, marine, aquatic ecosystem, and encompasses the diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystems. Now let's have the interrelatedness of the biodiversity and ecosystem, or the difference of biodiversity and ecosystem. Biodiversity is a component of ecosystem, and ecosystem is emphasizes the species of variety. So let me give you an analogy. Okay, so when I'm going to compare something, I always have an analogy. So do you know about puzzle? So puzzle pieces. Okay, puzzle pieces is like a biodiversity, and the completed puzzle is the ecosystem. Okay, are you getting the idea? So the biodiversity is the individual puzzle pieces. So that's the species, right? And the ecosystem is the completed puzzle of the species. Okay, fitting together. So definitely, if you're going to define ecosystem, it refers to a community of living organisms. Of course, plants, animals, microbes that are interacting with each other in their physical environment, such as their air, water, soil, sunlight. Okay, what else? So therefore, ecosystem can be large, like a forest or oceans, or small, like a pond or a tree, a stump. So they support life by providing essential services such as food, clean water, air, and climate regulation. Okay, so that's the difference of biodiversity and ecosystem. Now, what is the importance of biodiversity? First, it is the source of essential goods and ecological services, which is crucial for life. It provides direct consumptive value in areas such as food, agriculture, medicine industry. And it supports ecosystems, functions that are vital for human survival. Okay, so let's talk more about the importance of biodiversity in the next slide. Ayan, so dagito yung pagpaglinda ng biodiversity. Dagito da plants and animals, no ayan da, interconnections da, era, okay, including sa iya tuturo. Ay. Okay, Quantum J, biodiversity means using lots of plants and animals together, meaning that is the utilization of plants. When biodiversity says that it's using lots of plants and animals, it utilizes plants and animals that refers to the variety of species and their inner connections. So we have the food web from the utilization of plants. Okay, you know what's a food web, right? Because we are drawing that in our elementary and high school. Yung plants kasi dyan is mahalaga for the food web. Okay? For the herbivores na kumakain ng plants, which support the carnivores. And shelter and habitat, of course. Plants provide shelter, breeding grounds, and nesting sites. Next, oxygen production. Yeah, because of the photosynthesis that produces oxygen for animals, including us. Letter D, soil stabilization. How is this? Because of, as we know, alam natin na yung roots ng plants, it prevents the erosion. Again, let's have utilization in terms of the animals. First is the pollination and seed dispersal. So how is this? Animals can facilitate plant reproduction. Decomposition, yes, of course, because animals can break down organic matter, recycling nutrients. Predation and population control. How is this? Animals regulate prey population. They can regulate that. And letter D, nutrient cycling. So animals can transport nutrients through migration and waste. Yeah, we know that. And we have here ecological roles here in the biodiversity. Okay, ecological roles in plants, it converts sunlight to energy, and consumers in animals use energy from plants directly and indirectly. When we say directly or indirectly, just like animals, for example, directly, animals who are eating leaves, those are the herbivores or herbivory. And we have also animals that are consuming fruits or seeds or flowers. Those are eating birds. Those are what we call the frugivory. And we have animals that eating grains. Yung mga ganon. When we say indirectly, consumers, yeah, of course, we have the predation, which animals are eating other animals that have consumed plants, such as lions eating herbivorous. Yan. Kinakain niya yung another animal na kumakain ng plants. Okay, this is indirectly. And omnivorous, of course, that's one example. Animals are eating both plants and other animals. So just like bears, dito sa indirectly. Bears who are eating plants and insects. And letter C here is decomposers. Of course, those are the microorganisms that break down organic matter. All right, so let's have the benefits of biodiversity. So here is the idea. Number one is, so let's erase this one. Yeah. Okay. Ecosystem resilience. All right, how is this? In our ecosystem, our ecosystem has the ability to withstand disturbances. So it will resist changes caused by the external factors. Ano yung mga external factors na mga yun? Yung mga climate change, yung mga invasive species, ganyan. And ecosystem also can recover from disruptions, return to a stable state after a disturbance, and it can adapt to changing conditions to maintain ecosystem services. Like it continues to provide essential services like air, water, purification, or food production, etc. Another importance or benefits of biodiversity is the nutrient cycling. So what do you mean by nutrient cycling? We mentioned this a while ago. This is because of providing us, or it provides us the efficient nutrient exchange. And number 3, climate regulation. Yeah, as what I said in number 1, balanced ecosystems mitigate a climate change. And number 4, human well-being. Oh, how's that? Biodiversity supports yung medicine na kinakain natin. And for agriculture. Yeah, nakakatulong yan. And then for recreation. Okay? So, let's talk more about this in the next slide. Alright, talking about the ecosystem, let's have the impact of industrialization on wildlife and ecosystem. Oh, we are running out of time. We should have at least 15 minutes. Okay, kindly read the succeeding slides because, it's self-explanatory naman. Nandun yung explanations and the examples. Okay, so let's have first this one. The first impact is the human industrialization in habitat destruction. Yes, because of the industrialization, it has significantly impacted the natural habitats of life because of the loss of habitat. Okay, and then number 2, rate of wildlife disappearance. So according to Marco Lambertini, a general director of WWF. What is that? WWF? That means a World Wildlife Fund. Okay, International highlights the unprecedented rate of wildlife disappearance. Okay, and it is an experts warn of the potential 6th mass extinction event. So it talks about the extinction of event because of the industrialization in the wildlife. And of course, we have number 3, definition and impact of mass extinction. So you would see here, the mass extinction, the species disappear at rate 1,000 times faster than the normal. And according to the Inquirer.net 2016, disappearance of species disrupts ecosystem balance, leading to widespread of ecological chaos. And number 4, importance of environmental awareness. So to recognize the critical state of our environment, and of course the role of human activities, understanding the interconnection between society, environment, and health, and emphasis on and how to address those effects of the species extinction and ecosystem imbalance. Okay, so kindly analyze the information of the succeeding slides, and thank you so much for watching.